Hello, English learners. Welcome back to Talk English Now. I'm Sarah, and today we're going to talk about how you can speak English more clearly and confidently in any situation. Before starting, I just want to let you know that we upload daily English learning videos every day, so make sure you subscribe and join us for your daily English practice. Now, let's begin with something simple but powerful. When we talk about speaking clearly, we often think about pronunciation. But speaking clearly isn't only about the sounds of words. It's also about how you organize your thoughts, how you express emotion, and how you make your listener understand you easily. Clarity is not just in your mouth, it's also in your mind. Imagine you're talking to someone and you're nervous. You speak fast, you swallow your words, and suddenly your sentences lose shape. The listener may understand only half of what you're saying, but when you slow down, when you breathe, and when you speak each word with intention, your voice becomes easier to follow. That's the secret first step to speaking English clearly, slowing down and giving your listener time to hear you. So let's try something together. Take a deep breath and repeat after me slowly. I can speak English clearly. Again. I can speak English clearly. Feel your tongue move, your lips shape each sound, and your breath support each word. That's clarity in action. Sometimes English learners think they have to speak fast to sound fluent, but fluency is not speed. Fluency is flow. The way your words connect naturally without rushing. Think of it like a calm river. It keeps moving, but it never loses control. That's how your English should feel. Let's practice this flow. Try saying, I'm learning to speak English clearly and confidently. Don't rush it. Just let it flow from your breath. I'm learning to speak English clearly and confidently. The clearer you speak, the more confident you sound. Clarity also comes from your pronunciation. English has many words that look similar but sound slightly different. For example, ship and sheep, or live and leave. A small sound change can completely change the meaning. So part of speaking clearly is paying attention to these small details. It's not about having a perfect accent. It's about being understood easily. Try this mini practice with me. Say these pairs aloud. Bit, beat, sit, seat, fit, feet. Feel the difference? The first sound in each pair is shorter, the second is longer. English vowels are like music notes. You need to hold some longer than others. This helps your speech sound natural and clear. Another thing that affects clarity is your mouth position. When you speak English, open your mouth a little more than you might in your native language. English uses open vowels like a, and o, which need more space in your mouth. Try this. Say father, now mother. Notice how your jaw moves down slightly for father. That's clarity. English needs that openness for sound to travel clearly. Now, let's talk about confidence, because clarity and confidence are best friends. When you're confident, your voice becomes stronger, and your words become clearer naturally. But when you feel shy or afraid of making mistakes, your voice shrinks. So here's a small tip. Focus less on perfect English and more on connected English. If your goal is connection, not perfection, you'll automatically relax and speak more clearly. Sometimes learners whisper their words or end their sentences too softly. You don't need to shout, but speak from your chest, not your throat. Feel your voice come from deep inside you, not just your mouth. Try this practice. Say hello in a soft voice, then say it again with energy from your chest. Hello. Hear the difference? That energy makes your English clear and alive. Let's talk about rhythm too. Every language has its own rhythm, and English rhythm is like a heartbeat. It goes strong, weak, strong, weak. Some words get more stress and others stay lighter. For example, listen carefully. I like speaking English clearly. Hear how the stress falls on like, English, and clearly? That's the music of English speech. If you get the rhythm right, your clarity improves instantly. Let's practice that rhythm together. Say, I like speaking English clearly. Try again, a little slower. I like speaking English clearly. Feel the beat? That's the secret melody of English that makes native speakers sound natural. Now here's something most learners forget. Clarity is not only about speaking, it's also about pausing. Pausing at the right moment helps your listener understand you better. If you speak non-stop, even perfect pronunciation won't help because your listener won't know where one idea ends and the next begins. So, use pauses wisely. After a complete idea, breathe and continue. Like this. I want to speak clearly, so I take my time and focus on one thought at a time. That's how you make your English sound clear and calm. Let's take a moment for a small self-check. When you speak English, do you often feel your words mixed together? Or do you sometimes feel like people don't understand you easily? That's completely normal. Everyone faces that when learning a new language. The goal is not to fix everything overnight. It's to notice what you can improve slowly, one habit at a time. Let's do another small pronunciation practice. Repeat after me. Can you hear me clearly? Again, slowly. Can you hear me clearly? Make sure your R in clearly is soft, not too strong. English R doesn't roll like in Spanish or Italian. It's a light curl of your tongue, not a full roll. Try again. Clearly. One more time. Clearly. Excellent. Now let's look at how stress can change meaning in English sentences. Say this sentence. I didn't say she stole the money. Depending on which word you stress, the meaning changes completely. For example, I didn't say she stole the money means maybe someone else said it. I didn't say she stole the money means you might have written it instead. I didn't say she stole the money could mean she borrowed it. See? Stress can change meaning even when the words stay the same. That's why understanding and practicing stress is key to speaking clearly and naturally. If you're enjoying this lesson, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel for more daily English practice. We share lessons like this every day to help you speak English with confidence and clarity. Now, one more practical exercise for your daily routine. Record your voice for 1 minute every day. Talk about anything, your morning, your work, your goals. Then listen to yourself carefully. Ask, do I sound clear? Can I hear every word? Is my rhythm natural? This habit will train your ear and your mouth at the same time. Over time, you'll start catching your unclear words and fixing them naturally. Let's try one daily speech challenge right now. Describe your morning in English clearly and slowly. Say it out loud. I woke up early today. I brushed my teeth. I made a cup of coffee. And I felt ready to start the day. Don't rush. Focus on clear sounds, smooth rhythm, and gentle pauses. That's how real clarity feels. You know, speaking clearly is like cleaning your window before the sunlight comes in. The light was always there. It just needed a clear path to shine through. Your English is the same. You already know many words, but you need to clean the window of your pronunciation, pacing, and confidence. Once you do, everything sounds brighter and more natural. Many learners ask me, "Sarah, how can I sound more like a native speaker?" And my answer is, don't try to copy accents, try to copy clarity. Native speakers are not always clear either. The best communicators, native or not, are the ones who speak slowly, clearly, and with emotion. That's what makes people listen. To practice this, you can try mirror speaking. Stand in front of a mirror and talk about your day in English. Watch how your mouth moves. Does it open enough for sounds like ah, o, or e? If not, practice opening it slightly wider. This small physical habit can change how your voice sounds instantly. And remember, clear English is kind English. When you speak clearly, you make life easier for your listener. You show respect, patience, and confidence. You're not just improving your language. You're improving your connection with others. Let's continue, my friend. Now that we've talked about clarity through pronunciation and pacing, let's focus on how your mindset affects the way you speak English. Many learners believe that their voice is not good enough for English. They worry that their accent sounds strange or that they'll make mistakes. But the truth is, every accent tells a story, and your accent is part of your identity. The goal isn't to erase it, it's to make your English sound clean and easy to understand while keeping your natural voice. Think about this. When you listen to people from around the world speaking English with different accents, you can still understand them, right? That's because they speak clearly, confidently, and with intention. They don't hide their voice. They own it. And that's what I want for you, to own your English voice and feel proud when you speak. Let's do a quick self-practice. Say this sentence with me. My accent is beautiful and my English is clear. Repeat it again. My accent is beautiful and my English is clear. Say it like you mean it. This small affirmation helps you believe in your own progress, because clarity starts with confidence, and confidence starts with kindness toward yourself. Now, let's talk about how emotion affects clarity. Have you noticed that when you're excited, you speak faster, or when you're nervous, your words get stuck? Emotion can shape the rhythm and tone of your English. The trick is to stay calm but expressive. Speak like you care about what you're saying. Smile while you talk. It actually changes your tone and helps your words sound warmer and clearer. Try this. Say, "It's nice to meet you." Now say it again with a gentle smile. "It's nice to meet you." Hear the difference? A smile adds clarity because it opens your mouth slightly and brightens your sound. When you smile, your listener feels your warmth through your voice, even if they can't see you. Let's also practice emphasis. Emphasis means making some words stronger so your meaning becomes clear. For example, say this: "I really like your idea." The word really shows enthusiasm. But if you say, "I really like your idea," the emphasis on your shows you're giving credit. And if you say, "I really like your idea," the focus is on what you liked. By changing emphasis, you guide your listener's attention to what matters most. So here's a little exercise. Choose a simple sentence and play with emphasis. Try, I didn't forget your name. Now try stressing different words. I didn't forget your name. I didn't forget your name. I didn't forget your name. Each one changes the feeling slightly. This practice trains your awareness and helps you control how your English sounds. Another big part of clarity is linking words naturally. Native speakers often connect sounds like want to becoming wanna or going to becoming gonna. But if you overuse linking before mastering clarity, it can make your speech harder to understand. So practice clarity first, then flow later. Say both versions and compare. I am going to eat, and I'm gonna eat. The first one is clear and careful. The second is fast and natural. Both are fine, but clarity should always come first. Now, let's look at intonation, the music of English sentences. When you ask a question, your voice usually goes up at the end. Do you like it? When you give information, your voice goes down. I like it. And when you show emotion or surprise, your tone changes more dramatically. You did what? This melody helps listeners know what kind of message you're sending, even before they understand every word. Let's practice tone with a few short phrases. Say, really, with curiosity, really, with calm confidence, and really, with surprise. Same word, but different meanings, just through tone. That's the beauty of intonation. It gives color to your clarity. Speaking clearly also means thinking clearly. When your ideas are organized in your mind, your words come out more naturally. Before you speak, take half a second to think about your message. You don't need a long pause, just a quick mental outline. For example, before you say, I went to the market, your mind already pictures the action, so the sentence flows easily. That's how you speak naturally, without hesitation. Here's a little trick you can try. Break long thoughts into short ideas. Instead of saying everything in one breath, divide it like this. Yesterday I went to the market. I bought some fresh fruit, and I met a friend there. Each pause gives your listener space to follow your story. It's like walking down a path slowly enough for your friend to walk beside you. Now let's have a small speaking challenge together. Imagine you're ordering food at a restaurant. Say this clearly. Hi, I'd like a cup of coffee, please. Now add confidence. Hi, I'd like a cup of coffee, please. Hear the difference? The second one sounds polite, natural, and clear. Practice small phrases like this every day. They build your foundation for real conversations. You can also practice tongue control with a few common tricky sounds. For example, the th sound in thank or this. Gently put your tongue between your teeth and blow air for thank. Then for this, touch your tongue to your teeth and voice the sound slightly. Let's try it. Thank, this, think, that. These little pronunciation exercises make your speech smoother and more understandable. Here's another quick sound. In focus, the difference between R and L, say light, then right. Can you feel how your tongue stays up for L and curls slightly back for R? Try again slowly, light, right. Clear pronunciation isn't about sounding native, it's about being understood without effort. You know, speaking English clearly is a bit like playing an instrument. At first, you need to practice slowly. focusing on accuracy. Then, when your fingers, or in this case your tongue and lips, get used to the rhythm, everything becomes smoother and more natural. So don't rush your progress. Every sentence you speak clearly is one step closer to mastery. Also, remember to use your full voice. Some learners speak too softly because they're afraid of mistakes. But your voice needs space. It needs air to travel. Try this quick breathing exercise. Take a deep breath in through your nose, then speak a full sentence without running out of air. For example, I love learning English every day. That breath control gives your words strength and clarity. When you practice at home, read aloud daily. You can use books, short stories, or even your favorite English subtitles. Reading aloud helps your mouth muscles adjust to English rhythm and sound. If you record yourself, you'll notice how much your clarity improves in just a week. Let's try something fun. I'll say a line, and you'll repeat after me with clarity. Ready? I believe in my English voice. Again, I believe in my English voice. One more time. I believe in my English voice. Excellent. Every repetition makes your speech muscles stronger and your confidence higher. Sometimes learners struggle with hesitation sounds like or you know. These fillers happen when you're thinking while speaking. They're natural even in native speakers, but too many can reduce clarity. Instead, use silence. Pause for a second and then continue. Silence is more powerful than filler words. It gives your speech rhythm and authority. Another tip: when you speak to someone and notice confusion on their face, don't panic. Just rephrase calmly. For example, if you said, "I will catch you later," and they look confused, try, "I'll see you later." Clear communication means flexibility, not perfection. It's okay to adjust your words to help others understand. You see, clarity in English is really clarity in thought, emotion, and sound combined. It's about aligning your mind, mouth, and meaning together. And once that alignment happens, your English flows easily, like music. The listener doesn't just hear your words, they feel your message. Before we move forward, I want you to imagine yourself in a real conversation. Maybe with a friend, a teacher, or a colleague. Picture yourself speaking slowly, clearly, and confidently. You're not worried about mistakes. You're focused on connection. That's the energy you should bring every time you speak English. Let's keep going. Because the journey to speaking clear English doesn't stop at pronunciation or rhythm. It's also about presence. The way you carry yourself while speaking matters more than most learners realize. Have you ever noticed how some people sound confident even before they finish their first sentence? That's because their tone, their pacing, and their attitude tell the listener, "I'm comfortable speaking with you." You can develop that same feeling by practicing not just your words, but your posture, your breath, and your calmness while speaking. Let's try something simple. Sit up straight, relax your shoulders, and take a slow breath in. Now speak a sentence slowly with confidence. I can express myself clearly in English. Say it again with your back straight and your head held naturally. I can express myself clearly in English. When your body is relaxed and open, your voice travels freely and your words sound stronger. It's amazing how posture affects clarity, isn't it? Now let's talk about emotional connection. Clear English is not robotic English. It's full of feeling, intention, and natural energy. Think about when you tell a story to your best friend. You don't speak like a textbook, you speak with life, with color, with emotion. That same energy should exist in your English practice too. When you talk about something you love, your pronunciation automatically improves because your mind and body are fully engaged. Let's do a short emotional exercise. Think of something you truly enjoy, maybe music, food, or travel. Now say, "I really love it." Feel the emotion behind it, not just the words. "I really love it." Your tone changes, your mouth opens wider, and your sound becomes clearer. That's how emotion can improve clarity. It's not just about technique, it's about connection. Sometimes learners ask me, "Sarah, how can I sound more natural when I speak English?" And I always say, listen more carefully. Listening is the foundation of clear speaking. When you listen to native speakers or fluent learners, focus on their rhythm, their pauses, and their energy. Don't just copy their accent. Notice how they use their voice. Then try to repeat that pattern in your own way. This is what I call active listening. It's not passive, it's mindful. You can practice this easily with YouTube videos, podcasts, or even your favorite English songs. Play a short sentence, pause, and repeat it exactly as you hear it. Notice where the voice rises and falls, how long the pauses are, and how smoothly the words connect. Over time, your clarity will naturally align with what you hear. It's like tuning your voice to the rhythm of real English conversations. Now let's focus a bit more on pronunciation. There are some common sounds that learners often struggle with. For example, the V and W sounds. They look similar, but they feel very different. Try saying vine and wine. For V, your upper teeth touch your lower lip gently, like vine. For W, your lips round forward, like wine. Try again, vine. Wine. Feel that difference? This little awareness makes your English much clearer instantly. Let's move to another pair, B and P. Both are made with your lips closed, but P has a stronger burst of air. Say bat, then pat. Place your hand near your mouth. You'll feel a small puff of air on P but not on B. This air release gives English its crisp sound. Try repeating them. Bat, pat, bat, pat. Clear pronunciation comes from noticing these little details. Now let's connect clarity with emotion again. If you speak too carefully all the time, you might sound stiff. But if you mix clarity with expression, your English sounds warm and human. Try this line. "I'm happy to talk to you today." Now say it with a bit of brightness, like you truly mean it. "I'm happy to talk to you today." That tone invites people to listen to you. It's not only clear, it's alive. Here's another practical habit. Stretch your mouth before speaking. Yes, just like warming up your voice before a performance. Open your mouth wide, move your lips side to side, and hum gently. It might sound funny, but it helps relax your muscles and makes your speech flow more easily. Even 1 minute of warm-up before class, work, or practice can make your English sound smoother and clearer. Speaking clearly also depends on how well you handle long sentences. When you have many ideas to say, try to break them into smaller phrases. This helps both your brain and your listener keep up with you. For example, instead of saying, "Yesterday I went to the supermarket and I bought some vegetables and then I met my friend and we went to a cafe and had coffee," try this. Yesterday, I went to the supermarket. I bought some vegetables. Then, I met my friend. We went to a cafe and had coffee. Same idea, but much clearer. That's the power of pacing. Let's practice this together. I'll say a sentence, and you'll repeat it with short, calm pauses. Today, I'm learning to speak English clearly. I'm improving a little every day. I'm proud of my progress. Again, slower. Today, I'm learning to speak English clearly. I'm improving a little every day. I'm proud of my progress. Each pause helps your voice breathe and your message land gently in your listener's mind. Another way to boost clarity is to record short practice audios and listen back with intention. Don't focus on judging your mistakes, just listen for clarity. Ask yourself, did my listener understand every word? Did my rhythm sound natural? Did my tone match my meaning? Self-listening is one of the fastest ways to grow because you hear yourself the way others hear you. Now let's talk about word endings. In English, many learners forget to pronounce the last sound of a word, like the T in want or the S in books. These small endings carry big meaning. Book means one, books means more than one. Want means desire, but without the T, it can sound like one. So always give gentle attention to the last sound of each word. Try this practice. Want, wanted, wants, won't. Slow and clear. Want, wanted, wants, won't. These endings make your English precise and polished. And remember, the clearer your message, the more confident you'll feel. Confidence doesn't come from speaking perfectly. It comes from being understood easily. When someone responds to you naturally, it gives you energy and motivation to keep improving. So, focus on connection, not perfection. Let's do a short, real-life role-play practice together. Imagine you're introducing yourself at work or school. Say, "Hi, my name is your name. I'm learning English because I want to communicate better with people around the world." Try it again, slower. "Hi, my name is your name. I'm learning English because I want to communicate better with people around the world." This kind of simple self-introduction helps you practice clarity, tone, and rhythm all at once. Sometimes you might notice that your mouth feels tired after speaking English for a while. That's actually good. It means your muscles are working in new ways. Over time, those muscles will adapt, and clear pronunciation will become natural and effortless. Just like exercising at the gym, your mouth and tongue need training too. Here's another fun idea for daily improvement: shadowing. Listen to a native speaker and repeat every word immediately after them, like an echo. Try to copy not only the words but also the tone, rhythm, and emotion. This technique builds muscle memory for natural clarity. You can do it with short clips, movies, or audio lessons. Just 5 minutes a day can make a big difference. Let's try a tiny shadowing practice right now. I'll say it first, then you repeat, "I speak English clearly and confidently." Again, "I speak English clearly and confidently." And one more time, "I speak English clearly and confidently." Great. Feel that confidence growing inside your voice? You're not just learning to pronounce better, you're training your brain and your mouth to work together. That coordination takes time, but it always pays off. Because once your body remembers how to form sounds clearly, you'll speak naturally even without thinking. And remember, mistakes are not a problem, Unclear silence is so. Don't hold your voice back waiting for the perfect sentence. Speak, even if you make a few mistakes. Clarity grows from practice, not from hesitation. Every sentence you say out loud brings you closer to fluency. Now let's move a little deeper into how you can speak English clearly in different situations. Because real clarity is tested not just when you practice alone, but when you're talking to real people, in meetings, at school, in restaurants, or online. Each situation has its own rhythm and energy, and learning how to adjust your tone and pace makes you sound natural and confident anywhere. Let's begin with conversations at work or school. When you're explaining something, clarity is more important than speed. Try to focus on organizing your thoughts before you speak. Start with a short, clear sentence that introduces your point, then give one or two supporting ideas. For example, today I'll explain how this plan works. First, we'll look at the steps, then we'll discuss the results. This small structure helps your listener follow you easily, and it gives your English a calm, professional tone. You can also practice summarizing what others say before you respond. For example, if someone tells you a long story, you can say, "So, you mean you had to wait a long time before the bus arrived?" This not only shows you understood them, it also gives you time to think before answering. Clarity is not just in your speaking, but also in your listening and responding. Now imagine a casual chat with friends. The tone becomes softer, warmer, more relaxed. Here, clarity comes from using short, simple sentences and natural expressions. Instead of saying, "I am feeling extremely exhausted today," you could say, "I'm really tired today." Both mean the same thing, but one sounds friendlier and easier to follow. In daily conversation, keep your words light and your rhythm natural. Let's do a little practice together. Imagine your friend asks, "How was your weekend?" You can answer slowly and clearly like this. "It was nice. I went out for a walk, watched a movie, and cooked dinner at home." You don't need long, complicated sentences. Short and clear answers sound confident and natural. Try saying it again. "It was nice. I went out for a walk, watched a movie, and cooked dinner at home." Notice how smooth and understandable it sounds when you pause gently between ideas. Now let's think about situations where you have to ask for help or information, like in shops or while traveling. Here, tone is everything. A polite and clear tone always gets better responses. For example, instead of asking fast or nervously, say calmly, "Excuse me, could you please tell me where the station is?" Or, "Hi, can you help me find this item?" Your clarity and politeness make people want to help you. So whenever you feel nervous, take a breath, slow down, and smile as you speak. It changes everything. Let's do a real-life example together. Say it with me. "Excuse me, could you help me, please?" Again, slower and softer. "Excuse me, could you help me, please?" Beautiful. These everyday sentences build your confidence to speak clearly no matter where you are. Now, sometimes in conversations, people might speak too fast or use words you don't know. That's completely normal. The key to clarity here is asking politely when you don't understand. You can say, "Sorry, could you please repeat that?" Or, "Can you say that a bit slower?" These small requests show confidence, not weakness. It means you care about communication, and that's what truly matters in language learning. Here's something interesting. Speaking clearly also involves listening clearly. That means paying attention not just to words, but to rhythm, tone, and body language. When you listen carefully, your brain learns how natural English sounds. Then, when it's your turn to speak, you automatically use similar patterns. So every time you listen to English, movies, podcasts, or even short videos, treat it as pronunciation training, not just entertainment. Let's pause and do a small clarity exercise together. I'll say a line, and you'll repeat it twice after me. Ready? Clear English is calm English. Again, clear English is calm English. One more time. Clear English is calm English. Excellent. When you keep calm, your words come out naturally without tension or rushing. And calmness always sounds clear. Now, here's another important thing. Don't let fear block your clarity. Many learners start to mumble or whisper when they're afraid of mistakes, but mistakes are part of communication. Even native speakers make them all the time. So instead of freezing, correct yourself naturally and continue. You can say, "Oh, sorry, and keep going. The faster you recover, the more confident you sound. Let's imagine this in practice. You say, "Oh, sorry, he goes to work early." See how natural that sounds? You fix it and you move on. No big deal. That's real fluency. Fluency isn't about never making mistakes. It's about keeping the conversation alive even when you do. Another area to think about is how you use your pauses. Many learners are afraid of silence, but silence is your friend. Pausing makes your message stronger and your speech more organized. When you pause after an important idea, your listener has time to understand it fully. For example, say this sentence slowly with small pauses. I practice English every day because I want to speak clearly and connect with people easily. Hear how natural and powerful that sounds? That's the effect of controlled pauses. You can also improve clarity by using your emotions wisely. When you emphasize the right words, your listener feels your meaning even more deeply. Let's practice this line. I love learning English every single day. Say it again with warmth. I love learning English every single day. And once more with energy. I love learning English every single day. That emotional connection is what brings clarity to life. Let's talk about a common challenge. When people understand you, but you can't understand them clearly. This happens often in real conversations, especially with different accents or noisy environments. The solution? Stay calm and focused. Listen for keywords, not every single word. And if you miss something, ask politely. You can say, "Sorry, could you repeat that part?" Or, "Did you mean?" The clearer your response, the smoother the conversation becomes. Here's a mini listening response exercise you can do alone. Record a short English video clip. Play one line, pause, and repeat it out loud while matching the speaker's tone and clarity. Then play it again and check how close you sound. This practice helps you develop a natural, confident speaking rhythm. It's one of the most effective ways to master clarity. Now let's focus a little on motivation, because clear speaking requires consistency. There will be days when you feel tired or stuck, but remember, you're still moving forward even if slowly. Every small effort counts. Every word you practice adds a brick to your foundation. And soon, you'll realize that your English doesn't just sound clearer, it feels clearer inside your mind too. So here's something you can say to yourself each day. My English is improving. My voice is getting clearer. My confidence is growing. Repeat it with me. My English is improving. My voice is getting clearer. My confidence is growing. Say it once more, slower and stronger. You see? That repetition trains both your mind and your mouth to believe in your progress. Before we end this section, I want to remind you, clear speaking is not about showing off perfect English. It's about building trust and connection. When someone listens to you and understands you easily, they feel comfortable. They enjoy talking with you. And that's the true goal of communication, not perfection, but connection. You're already doing amazing work by listening to this lesson, practicing with patience, and showing up for your learning every day. Keep that energy alive, and soon speaking clearly will feel as natural as breathing. Now that you understand how to adjust your clarity in real conversations, let's take it one step further. Let's focus on how you can make your English sound natural, calm, and emotionally engaging in every kind of situation, from casual talks to professional moments. Because true clarity isn't just about the sound of your words, it's about the feeling behind them. Think about this. When someone speaks clearly and calmly, it feels safe to listen to them. You trust what they say. Their voice sounds steady and relaxed. That's what you should aim for. Not perfection, but presence. So today, we'll train that calm clarity inside you. Let's start with a small breathing and speaking exercise. Take a slow breath in. Now speak this line. I can express myself clearly in English. Good. Now take another deep breath and say it again, this time with a softer tone like you're speaking to a friend. I can express myself clearly in English. One more time, with confidence. I can express myself clearly in English. Feel how your voice sounds more natural each time? That's because your breath supports your sound. Breath gives life to clarity. One of the most powerful secrets of speaking clearly is balance. You need to balance speed, tone, and emphasis. Some learners try to speak fast to sound fluent, but that often makes their English harder to understand. Others speak too slowly, which can sound uncertain. The best way is to keep a balanced rhythm, steady, gentle, but confident. Let's do a quick rhythm practice together. Say this sentence at a calm pace. I like learning new things every day. Now say it a little faster. I like learning new things every day. And now slower again. I like learning new things every day. You see how your voice changes with speed? The middle one probably sounded the clearest. That's your natural speaking rhythm. Another key to clarity is using tone to match your intention. When you speak, your tone tells people how you feel more than your words do. Try saying thank you in 3 different ways: grateful, tired, and excited. Thank you. Grateful. Thank you. Tired. Thank you. Excited. The words didn't change, but the tone completely transformed the meaning. That's what makes English so expressive. Now imagine using that awareness in real conversations. If you're greeting someone, your tone should rise slightly and sound friendly. If you're giving information, keep your tone steady and clear. And if you're showing empathy or understanding, make it softer and slower. For example, say, I understand what you mean. Try saying it with kindness, then with confidence, then with energy. Each one carries a different emotional clarity. Sometimes clarity disappears because of hesitation. You start a sentence, stop halfway, and lose your confidence. It happens to everyone. The trick is not to fight the hesitation, but to guide it gently. You can use connecting phrases to keep the rhythm, like, "Let me think," "Well," or "You know, I believe." These small connectors keep your English natural while giving your brain a second to organize your thoughts. Let's practice this flow with a real example. Say, "Well, I think learning English is easier when you enjoy it." Try it again. "Well, I think learning English is easier when you enjoy it." You see? The pause and connector make the sentence feel smooth and confident, even if you took a moment to think. Now let's talk about another important part of clarity: word stress in sentences. In English, not every word gets the same strength. We emphasize content words like nouns, verbs, and adjectives, while smaller words like the, a, and to stay softer. For example, say this sentence, "I bought a new phone yesterday." The strong beats fall on bought, new, and phone. Try it slowly. "I bought a new phone yesterday." That rhythm makes your speech easy to follow and pleasant to hear. Let's do another. "She's working on an important project." Emphasize working and project. She's working on an important project. The natural stress pattern helps your listener catch the main ideas right away. You can even turn this into a daily mini exercise. Take any short English sentence, underline or mentally highlight the most important words, and say them with a bit more energy while keeping the others lighter. It's like making your words dance naturally to the rhythm of English. Now let's talk about confidence when speaking to groups or strangers. Many learners tell me they freeze or mumble when they have to speak in front of others. But here's a truth: people don't notice your small mistakes. They notice your energy. They remember how your voice made them feel. So if you speak clearly, kindly, and confidently, people will always respond positively. Before speaking in public, take a few seconds to breathe and smile gently. Smiling softens your sound and helps you relax. Then start your sentence with calm control. Instead of rushing, let each word land slowly. Try saying this: "Good morning, everyone. It's great to be here with you today." One more time. "Good morning, everyone. It's great to be here with you today." Hear how smooth and confident that sounds. That's the kind of presence that draws people in. Another great way to build clarity is through storytelling. When you tell a story, your focus naturally shifts from grammar to connection. You think less about rules and more about sharing. And that's when your English becomes clearer, because your emotion leads the rhythm. Let's practice a simple story right now. Repeat after me slowly. "Yesterday, I met an old friend at a cafe. We talked about our childhood. We laughed a lot, and it felt so nice to remember those moments." Beautiful. Did you feel how your tone naturally moved with the emotion of the story? That's authentic communication. That's real clarity. At this point, I want to remind you to celebrate small wins. Every time you speak and someone understands you easily, that's progress. Every time you practice pronunciation and hear improvement, that's success. Learning English is not about one big moment of perfection. It's about thousands of small, clear moments that build your confidence day by day. Let's lock that thought into your mind with a little affirmation practice. Say after me, I am becoming clearer every day. Again, slowly, I am becoming clearer every day. One more time with a smile. I am becoming clearer every day. Perfect. Feel that confidence building? Sometimes learners think they need fancy vocabulary to sound fluent, but the truth is, simple words, spoken clearly, are much more powerful than complex words mumbled quickly. Think about the best teachers or speakers you've heard. They use plain, clear English that reaches your heart. That's the kind of communication you should aim for. Try saying this simple but powerful line. I speak slowly so others can understand me easily. Again, I speak slowly so others can understand me easily. When you speak clearly, people don't think you're slow. They think you're thoughtful, and that's a sign of a good communicator. Finally, remember that speaking English clearly is a journey. It takes patience, practice, and consistency. You'll have good days when everything flows, and tough days when words feel stuck. But both are part of progress. Every conversation you have, every word you practice, adds to your growth. If you're enjoying this journey so far, please give this lesson a like and subscribe to our channel for more daily English practice. We share lessons like this every day to help you grow your confidence step by step. Now take a deep breath and say this one last line for today's practice. I am learning to speak English clearly, confidently, and naturally. One more time, slower. I am learning to speak English clearly, confidently, and naturally. Excellent. You're doing beautifully. Let's continue, my friend, because now we're moving toward mastering the deeper level of clarity, the kind that stays with you even when you're nervous or in fast conversations. Real mastery isn't about how well you speak when you're calm. It's how clearly you speak when you're under pressure. And that's something we can train together, step by step. Let's imagine you're in a busy environment, maybe in a cafe, an interview, or a group discussion. People are talking fast and your brain is trying to keep up. The first rule here is simple. Breathe before you speak. That small pause before your first word gives you control. Try it now. Breathe in slowly and say, "That's a good question. Let me think for a second." Try it again, naturally. That's a good question. Let me think for a second. You see, even in a fast conversation, calm speech gives you power. It shows confidence and helps others focus on your words. Now, let's talk about clarity in emotional moments. When you feel angry, stressed, or excited, your voice often speeds up or rises too high. To keep clarity, slow your breathing and let your voice fall slightly at the end of each sentence. For example, instead of saying nervously, "I really didn't mean that," you can say calmly, "I really didn't mean that." That gentle fall in tone shows sincerity and self-control. Clarity doesn't just make you sound better, it makes you sound wiser. Let's try another emotional control exercise. Say this sentence 3 times, each time softer and clearer. I can stay calm when I speak English. Once more. I can stay calm when I speak English. And again with full control. I can stay calm when I speak English. That's the energy of clear communication. It's strong, but peaceful. Another common challenge is when people ask you questions and you panic because you're afraid of misunderstanding them. But remember, clarity also comes from courage. It's okay to ask for repetition or explanation. You can say, "Could you please repeat that?" Or, "Sorry, what do you mean by that?" These short phrases are your best friends in real conversations. They keep communication flowing and show that you're confident enough to stay engaged. Let's do a little real-life scenario. Imagine someone says something too fast and you didn't catch it. Instead of freezing, you respond calmly. "Sorry, could you please say that again, a bit slower?" Try saying it aloud. "Sorry, could you please say that again a bit slower?" Excellent. That kind of calm question keeps clarity alive, even when things move quickly. You can also practice clarity by learning to lead a conversation instead of just reacting to it. This means using transition phrases to guide your listener smoothly from one idea to another. For example, you can say, "That reminds me of something," or "I completely agree and I'd like to add," or "That's interesting because in my experience," these linking phrases give structure to your speech and make your ideas sound more polished. Let's practice this together. Say, "That's a good point. I'd like to add something to that." Now try. "I understand what you mean, and I have a similar experience." You hear how professional and natural that sounds? These are the kinds of expressions that make your English clear, smooth, and confident in group discussions. Another great technique to sound clear in conversation is chunking. Chunking means dividing long sentences into smaller, natural groups of words. For example, instead of saying, "I went to Thema and bought some clothes and met my friend," which sounds rushed, you can say, "I went to the mall, bought some clothes, and met my friend." Each chunk gives space for your voice and makes your message easy to follow. Try it with me. "I went to the mall, bought some clothes, and met my friend." Perfect. You can hear the clarity growing with every pause. Now let's focus on pronunciation of common connected speech sounds. In natural English, words often connect together, but the connection should still sound clean. For example, in want to, it's okay to say wanna in casual speech, but make sure it's still clear and soft, not rushed. Say, "I want to go home." Now say it slower, more clearly. "I want to go home." Both are correct. It depends on your context. Practice both so your speech stays flexible and clear in any situation. Let's also talk about endings again, especially the ed endings in past tense. Many learners drop them completely. For example, "I walk yesterday" instead of "I walked yesterday." That small T or D sound at the end makes your English sound finished and correct. Try saying these slowly: walked, played, loved, watched. Feel how your tongue touches lightly for D and your breath releases for T. Those small details make a big difference in clarity. Here's another area that helps your clarity: intonation in questions. For yes/no questions, your tone should rise slightly. "Do you like coffee?" But for WH questions, your tone falls. "Where are you going?" Let's try a few together. "Do you live here?" Rising. "What's your name?" Falling. "Are you ready?" Rising. "Why are you late?" Falling. The way your voice moves tells your listener what kind of question you're asking, even before they understand the words. That's the beauty of clear English. It communicates beyond just vocabulary. Now, let's bring everything together with a short conversation practice. Imagine this dialogue and try speaking both sides slowly. You. Hi, how are you doing today? Friend. I'm good, thanks. How about you? You. I'm doing well, just a bit busy with work. Friend. Oh, really? What kind of work? You. I'm studying English, speaking and communication skills. Try repeating it aloud at your own pace. Notice how you can make each line sound clear by emphasizing key words like today, busy, work, and English. Those little highlights help the listener follow your message effortlessly. Now let's talk about something that many advanced learners forget: facial relaxation. Yes, even your face affects clarity. When your jaw or lips are tight, your speech becomes stiff. Try relaxing your face by smiling lightly and stretching your lips gently before speaking. Say this line after me: relaxed mouth, relaxed mind, relaxed English. Again, relaxed mouth, relaxed mind, relaxed English. Excellent. Your clarity grows when your body feels relaxed. At this stage, you've learned a lot about how sound, rhythm, and emotion work together. But there's one more layer: the connection between your thoughts and your words. Before speaking, think of the picture behind your words. For example, if you're talking about your weekend, imagine the park, the sunshine, or the people you saw. That mental picture helps your words sound natural because your mind and voice are synchronized. You're not just saying words, you're expressing real moments. Let's do one small visualization together. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine a calm, sunny morning. You're walking slowly, breathing fresh air, and speaking to yourself in English clearly and confidently. You say, "It's a beautiful day. I feel calm and ready to speak." Say it softly now. "It's a beautiful day. I feel calm and ready to speak." That's how your English should feel: peaceful, clear, and alive. Remember this always: clarity grows with patience, not pressure. The more gently you train your voice, the more naturally it improves. English is not a test, it's a rhythm you grow into. So don't rush it. Speak with love for the process. Every time you speak, you're creating a clearer version of yourself. You're doing beautifully. And now, as we reach the final stage of this lesson, let's bring together everything you've learned: pronunciation, rhythm, emotion, confidence, and connection, and shape it into your daily speaking routine. Because true clarity is built through habits, not just lessons. Every day you have dozens of small moments to practice English, even if you're alone. When you wake up, say to yourself, "Good morning. Today is a great day to practice my English." When you make breakfast, talk about what you're doing. "I'm making coffee. It smells amazing." When you go for a walk, describe what you see. "The weather is calm. The air feels cool." These moments may seem small, but they are the foundation of fluent, clear English. The more you speak aloud, the more natural and confident you'll become. You can even practice while you think. Try to think in English about your plans, feelings, or goals. For example, say silently to yourself, "I'll call my friend later," or "I'm learning to stay calm when I speak." Thinking in English trains your brain to create words faster and with more clarity. Soon, your mind will stop translating and start flowing naturally. Now let's talk about maintaining motivation. There will be days when you feel tired or shy, or when you think your progress is slow. But remember, every clear word you speak is a victory. Every small improvement is a seed that grows quietly inside you. Fluency doesn't come from rushing. It comes from consistency. Let's do a small reflection exercise together. Close your eyes for a second and think about why you're learning English. Maybe it's for your career, maybe for travel, maybe to connect with people around the world. Whatever your reason is, keep it close to your heart. Now say softly, "I'm learning English to connect with others." Say it again. "I'm learning English to connect with others." That reason will keep you moving on days when motivation feels low. Here's a practical way to organize your clarity practice each day. Start with 10 minutes of pronunciation training. Pick 5 words or short sentences and say them slowly, focusing on sound and mouth movement. Then spend another 10 minutes shadowing a native speaker or a video. Imitate tone, speed, and emotion. Finally, spend 5 minutes speaking freely about your day. You don't need a partner, you just need your voice. 25 minutes a day of focused practice can completely transform your English within a few months. Let's do a quick speaking reflection practice right now. Say this out loud. "I'm improving every time I speak." Again, "I'm improving every time I speak." Now one more time with emotion. "I'm improving every time I speak." When you repeat this daily, your confidence grows silently in the background, and clarity becomes a natural part of your voice. Another beautiful way to grow clarity is by storytelling. Every night before bed, tell yourself one short story in English about your day. It doesn't need to be perfect, just clear. For example, "Today I studied English for 30 minutes. I learned how to speak more clearly. I felt proud of myself." When you practice stories like this, your thoughts and sentences start connecting smoothly without effort. And don't forget, clear English is not about sounding like someone else. It's about sounding like you, but more confident, more expressive, more free. Your voice has its own music, its own color, and its own rhythm. The goal of practice is not to change that, it's to let it shine. Let's do one more clarity-building exercise together. I'll say a short paragraph, and you can repeat after me in your own rhythm. "I'm learning to trust my voice. My English is getting stronger. My pronunciation is improving. My thoughts are becoming easier to express, and I enjoy every step of the journey." Say it again, slower this time, feeling every word. "I'm learning to trust my voice. My English is getting stronger. My pronunciation is improving. My thoughts are becoming easier to express, and I enjoy every step of the journey." Beautiful. When you repeat positive phrases like this, your brain starts believing them, and your mouth begins to cooperate naturally with your thoughts. That's how emotional confidence turns into physical clarity. Now let's talk about tone variety. Sometimes learners sound flat when they speak because they use the same tone for everything. But English is full of melody. It rises and falls like a wave. You can make your sentences sound more alive just by playing with tone. For example, say, "It's such a beautiful day, isn't it?" Let your tone go up slightly at the end. Now say, "I really love learning English." Let your tone fall softly at the end. You see? Those changes bring warmth and personality to your words. Clarity also depends on relaxation. When your body is tense, your voice becomes tight. So, before any English conversation, take one deep breath in and one deep breath out. Loosen your shoulders, unclench your jaw, and remind yourself, you're not being tested, you're communicating. The goal isn't perfection. It's connection. Here's something I want you to remember forever. Clear English is kind English. When you speak clearly, you're showing kindness to your listener. You're making it easy for them to understand you without effort. That's one of the most powerful acts of communication. So every time you practice, think of it not as a chore, but as an act of connection and care. Let's pause for a moment and imagine your future self, a few months from now. You're speaking English freely, clearly, and with a smile. People understand you easily, conversations flow naturally, and you feel proud of yourself. That future version of you is already waiting. You just need to keep walking toward it, one clear sentence at a time. You can even practice with simple self-questions. For example, ask yourself, "What made me smile today?" Then answer slowly, "I saw the sunset and it was beautiful." Or ask, "What did I learn today?" And answer, "I learned how to speak English clearly." These short, self-guided conversations keep your brain active and your English sharp. And as you keep practicing, remember, it's okay to sound imperfect. What matters most is that your words carry meaning, your tone carries warmth, and your heart carries confidence. That combination makes you not only clear but memorable. Let's do one final speaking affirmation before we close today's lesson. Repeat after me. I am proud of my English progress. I speak clearly and confidently. I connect with people easily, and I am becoming more fluent every single day. Once more, with a calm, steady rhythm, I am proud of my English progress. I speak clearly and confidently. I connect with people easily, and I am becoming more fluent every single day. You see, every time you say it, it becomes more real. Now, my dear learner, thank you so much for spending this time with me today. Remember, your English voice is growing stronger with every practice session. Keep trusting yourself, keep speaking, and keep believing that you're improving every single day. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the bell icon so you don't miss future lessons. I'm Sarah, and I'll see you in the next one. Keep shining and keep speaking clearly.